Carlo Acutis, the Church's first millennial saint. In this video, starting in Rome and the Vatican, we follow Carlo's footsteps by traveling to Milan, Italy, Carlo's hometown.
Hi, I'm Courtney Mares, a journalist with EWTN News and author of the book Carlo Acutis, A Saint in Sneakers. I'm happy to join you today from Carlo's hometown of Milan, Italy. Carlo has inspired my work in the world of journalism and media, and my hope is that in this video, you too will be inspired by Carlo's witness of what holiness can look like in the 21st century.
If you're new to Carlo's story, pause the video and check out our Vatican special, or our Carlo video bio linked in the description. Be sure to download our EWTN Travel Jubilee app to get a virtual map and walking directions of all the places on this itinerary. Although to tourists, the Duomo of Milan is just an iconic attraction, to Carlo it was his cathedral. Construction began in 1386 and took nearly 9 centuries to complete. Napoleon commissioned the facade while occupying Italy in the 19th century, and gargoyles and statues of saints were added over time, with still room for more in today's age. Pilgrims can purchase tickets in advance to access the roof to see the details up close and to get a view of the city. If you attend Mass, it's completely free to enter the church. Here they celebrate Mass in the Ambrosian Rite, instituted by St. Ambrose, which is local only to Milan. This is the same liturgy that Carlo would have attended. But where did Carlo attend Mass? For that, we'll make our way to Carlo's neighborhood. Carlo lived in the next area west of the Duomo, called Zona Magenta, a picturesque area that's tucked away but filled with iconic sights. If you're not rushed for time, take a stroll by the imposing Sforza Castle and the peaceful Parco Sempione along the way.
We have arrived at the Church of Santa Maria Segreta, where Carlo Acutis attended daily Mass and grew in his love and devotion for the Holy Eucharist. One of Carlo's favorite phrases was, "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven." And this phrase really sums up the centrality of the Eucharist in Carlo's spiritual life. When Carlo received his first communion at the age of 7 years old, he told his parents that he wanted to always be united to Jesus in the Eucharist. The way he accomplished that was by attending Mass at the church right behind me.
Questo è il posto di Carlo Acutis.
The pastor Don Maurizio Corbetta offers a pilgrim experience where he shows the very spot where Carlo used to pray before the tabernacle.
E questo è l'altare a lui dedicato come
The church has a side chapel holding a relic of Carlo's heart for pilgrims to venerate.
Here we contemplate the phrase,
non io, ma Dio.
"Not me, but God."
Cosa dico?
What do I tell the young people?
Carlo è
Carlo is a
amico
friend
di
of
Dio.
God.
Quindi
So it's a good idea to have friends who are friends of God,
amici di Dio, perché
because when we have something to ask, we can
qualcosa
turn to
da
Carlo and
chiedere,
say,
possiamo,
"Here, bring these requests before Jesus for us."
Le nostre richieste davanti a Gesù.
Across the piazza, we find Carlo's elementary school. This location represents a place where his faith, talents, and education all intersect. As a child, he developed a sense that every person is born an original made by God. The sisters who taught Carlo in class witnessed this firsthand.
Each of us is truly original. So what is your originality? Just as Carlo discovered the Eucharist as the source to understand his own, and through that developed an inner dialogue with Jesus, he could ask him, "Where should I go? How can I be original?" And that becomes a way to make holiness accessible to everyone, to me, to you, to all of us.
I didn't know, I didn't realize he was a saint when he was a boy, a little pupil in my school. And this is interesting because we must know that God doesn't ask to us to be like Carlo Acutis. He asks us to be like we are. We have to think of ourselves and see what is the beautiful project that God has upon us. This is the message of Carlo.
Speaking with people who knew Carlo personally adds life to any walking tour. This is Rajesh, who works for the Acutis family. Carlo inspired Rajesh to convert from Hinduism to Catholicism. They share many memories together.
Each and every corner of this garden, after coming to fetch Carlo, after his classes are over, I used to bring Carlo here and we used to play together. Little by little, when he was growing up, Carlo was always talking about the miracles that happens. He wanted to just share this message of Eucharist miracles.
As the church's newest saint, Carlo is an example to young people that true happiness is found when you put God first. Before wrapping up, we visit 2 more locations, beginning with Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper at the Dominican convent of Santa Maria della Grazia. Carlo grew up just a few blocks away from this high Renaissance masterpiece, which shows Jesus instituting the first Holy Eucharist, the source and summit of the Christian life. Nearby is the Basilica of St. Ambrose. As the Bishop of Milan, St. Ambrose was one of the most influential Christian leaders in the 5th century. He preached the gospel to his flock, the Emperor of Rome, and intellectuals such as St. Augustine. St. Ambrose's tomb is underneath the main altar. This is a place that Carlo Acutis would most likely have visited as a child growing up in this neighborhood.
Thank you for joining us on this walking pilgrimage in the footsteps of Carlo Acutis. If you want to learn more, download the EWTN Travel Jubilee app. Today,